Everywhere you look around the small, lush island of Taiwan, you see something delicious. Half a day's journey from Taipei, I've come to Shiluo, a sleepy town in Yulin County known primarily for its soy sauce. That's where Xie Yichen, who goes by Ozzy, and his brother Yizhe returned after they put in their time in the city. They now spend long hot days in a soy sauce factory that doubles as their home, producing Taiwanese black bean soy sauce in the traditional way.
We direct fire. We believe the flavor is way much better.
More concentrated.
Yes.
This is so fragrant. Almost smells like sake.
Yeah.
Because I guess the same kind of like...
Yeah, the fermentation process.
Fermentation.
Yes.
Why do you use black bean instead of yellow bean?
It's a tradition that passed on from my grandfather. We have been using black bean for 3 generations, so we just keep using it. Right now we are mixing the toasted rice bran with koji all together. Koji itself is kind of like an enzyme, a bacteria, which helps the black bean to ferment. And the koji itself breaks down the protein from black beans and then into amino acids, and that's where the umami comes from. While we just spread on the beans on the plate, you make like a circle, like you are having Tai Chi.
Uh-huh. That's what your actions reminded me of.
Yeah.
Tai Chi.
While we spread all the beans, it needs to be thinner in the center because the temperature is higher in the center. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yes. Okay. It's right now mixed evenly.
Yes.
Right?
Very much so.
Yeah. Koji. So before we finish the whole process, we will cover up with a 6 sea salt to protect the beans underneath.
It's really a family operation. There's your dad.
Yes.
He's so fit. Look at him.
For the Taiwanese black soybean sauce, we need to ferment under the sunlight for at least 6 months, and some of them even more than 1 year.
So in one terracotta urn,
Yes.
you make different types of soy sauces.
Yes, we can layer up into 3 parts. The upper parts we take out to make more saltier, savory soy sauce. And the middle part we use for the light soy sauce. And because we just let it set under the sun, we don't stir it. Unlike the Japanese brewing method, Japanese soy sauce, they constantly stir it. And inside the house, in the barrel or in the vaults. But here we use the terracotta and we let them set. I really like to walk around here sometimes because if it's not too hot, then you can feel the vibe here because it's all alive.
Yes. And you have little love letters written
Yes.
to on each of these urns.
Yes.
It's me,
So it's like
little
a-
black bean. I
Yeah.
love you.
Yes. We are raised by the soy sauce, so you will have some kind of connection with our soy sauce, and it starts with our grandfather.
Well, I guess with every new generation, there comes change.
Yes.
I mean, what have you introduced to the soy sauce that is different from, your father and your grandfather's generation?
We incorporate local ingredients, and we also tell people how to use it. And the main goal is to get customers to find the soy sauce they love. And our main goal is to promote Taiwanese soy sauce and let the world know, and let them know the culture of the soy sauce behind it.
When you guys were younger, did you have such a variety of
No.
soy sauce? No.
No.
This is part of your innovation.
Yeah,
then.
yeah. We have a very important mission is that all the innovation is based on the traditions.
Ozzy has developed books of recipes made with Yudingxing soy sauce, so I ended my visit to the soy sauce factory on a sweet note with their unique take on creme brulee, which develops a salty, umami-rich kick given the artisanal soy sauce. Why is it so important to preserve this tradition?
If we don't preserve, the flavor is disappearing. Then I'm not able to taste the good stuff that I would like to taste.
Now I'm heading to Luosan, an isolated mountain village on the east coast of Taiwan, for a unique local version of another Chinese staple, tofu. Li Yichen's family has resided in this remote village with a population of just 200 for more than 3 generations. Mr. Lin makes his robust, entirely natural tofu with volcanic mud that he carries back from a local spring. I had to see for myself, and the tofu master was kind enough to share his process with me from start to finish. My reward, in addition to some delicious tofu, was an unexpected workout as I learned traditional methods of grinding soybeans and pressing the finished cakes. This is what you used to grind the soybeans with.
Yes.
Traditionally,
对。
before there was electricity,
对。
you used a stone grinder.
对。
好，放上去。
He has soybeans here that he grew on the property and soaked in water overnight, and we're ready to grind it for the tofu.
好，好，对，握着，好，轻轻的
Okay.
，OK，对，再快一点点，more faster，
Faster.
对，嘿，
这个
好，
Yeah,
我们
once
看到
you've
它
got
就
it down, it's
对
pretty easy. Kind of a rocking back and forth motion.
你直接推就好。
Ooh. So this is all the fresh soy milk that we just ground, and I'm putting it into this big wok. We're gonna cook this to 100 degrees Celsius. Because this soy milk is so high in protein, you have to keep stirring it or else it'll stick together. So we're gonna do this for about 5 to 8 minutes. Coaxing out all the deliciousness, the richness, the nuttiness. So these are the soy curds. right, that he uses to make a specialty pastry. So he's going to use this soy curd to make waffles and muffins. Now that we've strained the soy milk, we're going to reheat it to make the tofu. That is crazy because the volcanic mud water is a natural coagulant. So see what happens immediately? This will just coagulate and turn into tofu.
对，拨开。OK。
It only takes 3 minutes to cook this.
对，豆腐脑 ，OK。
Oh, that's tofu brains.
对，就这样看。
Yeah.
Clean.
Clean water.
Yes. Finished.
Finished. Now we're going to press this into tofu.
OK， 反过来放上去，这样子。Use your body weight 就可以了。哦，你有学过瑜伽对不对？看哦。OK， 来豆腐。
Masterpiece. 一杯豆吗？
这样子全部我们加起来差不多要800克。
Waffles with bean curd that we pressed and oolong and black tea. I'm gonna try it with some citrus chili jam. It's so chewy. The batter is so moist. But yet it's crunchy on the outside and really soft and chewy and moist and delicious on the inside. Perfect waffle batter. Who would have thought? I would never have thought that you could use, the remnants of the pressing to make these delicious waffles. I'm gonna taste it unadulterated without any sugar or salt.
对。
Wow.
现在是没有加糖，
It's
你喝
so
看看。
rich.
好，我们现在把它打开。好，我们现在要我们这种方式做豆腐，它比较加一点，对，或者是夹起来用咬的也可以。
I've never tasted tofu with this type of texture before. It's not silken and smooth the way that you usually find tofu, but it has excellent texture and chewiness.
一点点就好了。OK。
Just a drop. This is the greatest palette, the blank palette for whatever flavors you want to bring to it. Soy sauce, just one drop of that soy paste makes it a totally different experience. Now we're going to try it with hot sauce.
一点点。这个也是我自己做的。
Oh, he made this.
Yeah. OK。尝尝看。
With that chili sauce, it really brought out the bean flavor. It intensified it. I love this. This is a fermented tofu. It's been fermented for about 100 days with soy sauce, salt, and rice wine, and some koji. I love this taste. The tofu has become so smooth, right? And salty. It's full of umami. A lot of flavor. It's like, bam! Whatever you want to call it, farm to table, locavore, or slow foods, the movement towards a less industrial way of producing the food we eat has drawn communities of tired city dwellers seeking a simpler and more rewarding life. In Yilan, in Taiwan's northeast, where rice paddies cover the landscape in a checkerboard of green, I was curious to hear how someone like Joelle, or Cai Xueqing, an American who came to Taipei to study Chinese, found herself farming rice instead.
I came to Ilan, I joined this group called Landike, which is a queer farming collective, and I started growing rice with them only 2 years after I came to Taiwan. And then I grew rice with them for 4 years, and I'm still living in a rice growing community, and I'm part of that community. Most of my friends are rice farmers.
Well, what makes this area such a great place for growing rice?
The main thing is water. Ilan is on the northeast coast, and during the winter we have a northeast monsoon weather system that brings a lot of moisture to the island. And the Lanyang Plain, where we are right now, it's basically like a triangle shape facing toward the east. So it's kind of a funnel, like all the moisture comes in here and then it's kept in by the mountains. And at the same time, during the winter, those months are months that are typically quite dry in the west and the south of Taiwan. So Ilan is one of the only places in Taiwan where you have really consistent water for irrigation, and that's even though even though Ilan doesn't have a reservoir. So we have enough water that we don't need a reservoir, and we have consistent water throughout the year. So you can see it takes a lot of water to grow rice.
Absolutely.
And so having consistent irrigation is really important. It's actually kind of surprising to find indica rice in Taiwan at all. Taiwan predominantly grows japonica rice, which is short grain, and indica rice is long grain. But this variety that they're growing here, Taichungxian Shihao, is a specific variety that was developed to be suitable for organic farming.
So how did japonica rice become so popular in Taiwan?
Good question. The Japanese colonial government. So when Taiwan was colonized by Japan from 1895 to the end of World War II in 1945, and when the Japanese colonists came to Taiwan, they did not like the rice that was grown here. It was an indica variety. It was a little harder, more dry, and for them, they were just not used to that coming from their Japanese rice. So this rice has been transplanted for about 20 days. When the rice is transplanted, it comes at varying heights, but it's at least about this long. And then you flood the paddy to prevent weed growth. So it's about 20 days. The whole process for growing rice is about 4 months. So it's like around 120, 125 days. When you're farming organically, you're gonna lose a lot of those rice seedlings. You're gonna lose them to the snails.
To the snails, yeah.
As a person who loves rice in Taiwan, it's just really exciting to see what's going on with rice, and new varieties are being developed. People are growing old Japanese varieties that were almost lost, and they're recovering them because they're really great for making sake. We're at the Jiyuan Nongzhuang Nianmi-Chang. So that's the Jiyuan rice mill. But it's not only a mill. So basically, as soon as farmers harvest their crop, they bring it straight here. The truck will deliver it to the front there, and the wet grain that's freshly harvested from the field will first go to the back over here into the grain dryers. So these are the rice milling machines. Once the rice is dried in the big grain dryers over there, it's first put into these massive refrigerators. He said it's about 18 degrees Celsius, and that keeps the grain really fresh. And then when you're ready to ship the grain to your customers, first they take it out of the refrigerator for 1 day in hotter months and 2 days in the colder months, just to bring the rice back to room temperature, because you don't want to mill the rice when it's cold. And then the rice goes into the milling machine over there. So the milling machine is turning it from a grain it has an inedible hard hull on the outside. It's turning it into first brown rice and then white rice, depending on what you want to have milled. Taiwanese rice is so good that if you just eat a bowl of white rice, it can be amazing. You know, I wouldn't go back to the States and say, oh, I just want a really big bowl of white rice and I don't care what I have with it because the rice is so good. Not so much in the US, but in Taiwan, rice is so good, it really enhances every meal. But there's also so much more diversity to it. I know someone who runs a factory that grinds rice into rice flour for baking. They make rice bagels, and you know, they can cater to a gluten-free community, to people who are interested in growing rice and then blending it into flour to sell to their customers or for their own baking. And growing rice is really real. You harvest as much as the labor that you put into it, and every snail that you pick out of your rice paddy is one less snail that's going to eat your rice seedlings. So it's very real also just like connecting with your body, connecting with the land through physical labor. I think for a lot of people that's interesting. You know, it's the kind of thing that if you're raised with it, you're really eager to escape because it's hard. But when you're not raised with it, a lot of people kind of romanticize it in a way. But I think that itself is really interesting, just connecting with the land through physical labor and then having rice to eat that you grew. So you could be exhausted after a day in the rice paddies and then you go home and you eat your rice and you're like, this is really good. I'm really glad that I do this.
To me, the best thing about the food scene in Taiwan is the abundance and the amazing variety of fruit that is grown here. And the best place to find it is in the city at the bustling Binjiang Wholesale Fruit and Produce Market in Taipei. That's where I meet up with Jane Chen, the founder, along with her husband Alex Dinner, of Empress Hot Sauce, a line of innovative hot sauces made with not just the freshest Taiwanese chilies, but also the best fruit to showcase Taiwan's incredible diversity and quality.
I think the best part about the wet markets is that we really get fruits and vegetables that are in season. Yeah, and then so you get to see the seasons change as you come through.
This looks so tender and yummy.
Yeah. This is long shu cai, which I guess if you translate it's like dragon whisker. Long shu cai, the purpose of it is like you kind of put it into salad, and what they do is they put it into salad, add some sesame dressing, and it's delicious. But what I love about Taiwanese greens is just like the amount of variety.
Yeah.
And how well grown they are. They're totally grown to full, and every single piece is so fresh. And yeah, and we have our chili peppers here. Yeah, so these guys, there's a lot of different varieties available in Taiwan. These are shishito peppers. I think those are the ones that are usually like grilled and served. But then there's also these. So the smaller the pepper, the spicier it is.
I always feel like cooking with peppers is a bit of a mystery. You never know how spicy they are and how much you need to put in. So that's great to know.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, well, for us, whenever we get a batch of peppers in, we do sample them. I'm not sure I would recommend that to everybody, but we do sample them just to make sure that they are the right pepper right flavor consistency.
This is a winter melon. Wow.
Cool.
This only takes 4 months from seed to this.
These are called mountain mangoes. And so I love what they actually write here. This says 树上黄, which means they let it ripen on the tree. And that's actually the best indicator you want to see from fruits, because when it's ripened on the tree, it gets all the nutrients it needs. They're really fat grapes. And so they're a little bit fermented. They're good for, they taste really sour. And they're only available for, I think, a short period of the season. So this is a mizao. It's a green date. And so it's crispy and it's sweet. It's only available during winter time. Yes.
This one's gorgeous. Should we get a wax apple since
Yes.
this is something that people don't usually see?
You gotta look for ones that are a little bit red. And then actually I was told that if you have a fuller body, it has more sugar and more content to it. Yeah, so these are loquats. They're grown on trees, I believe in like the middle of Taiwan or in the south of Taiwan.
It's pure honey.
Yeah, this is more my kind of fruit.
All right, we have similar palates.
Yeah. You see how it's really thick and round, and so it's really well balanced. So this one, I think when you cut open, it's gonna be juicy, it's gonna be sweet, because it's really fully developed. Usually when you open it, see the goodness that's inside.
Wow.
Slurp it up.
It's also so great in just anything like drinks, desserts, cocktails.
We put it in our hot sauce.
Oh, you do?
Oh, that's so fresh.
I've never tried a custard apple either.
One of my favorite fruits also.
Really?
It's so good.
This is grown in Taiwan?
Grown in Taiwan. 谢谢. And then just let it come apart like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love it.
Isn't it incredible?
It's like a pineapple and a guava blend.
So good. Yeah. But it's delicious. It's worth the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, 谢谢. 这样子多少钱? 280. Look at that. So good. Like, that's what I love best about Taiwan, is the amount of delicious fruits that we get here. And that's what we think the world should know more about.
After a shopping expedition, I was eager to check out how those fresh Taiwanese fruits taste in the hot sauces Jane and Alex make.
me and my wife Jane, we moved here about 6 years ago, and for the first few years I was kind of just learning Chinese, and then afterwards one day I was really missing my mango habanero hot sauce that I had from the States, and it was mango season, so I was walking through one of the wet markets, and luckily mangoes and chilies were sitting next to each other, and I'm like, maybe I could try something. Maybe I can make a hot sauce. Yeah, but these are very, very pretty. We're very, very lucky to work with.
Gorgeous. They're unblemished.
Yes, they're perfection.
They're almost unreal. They don't look like food.
No, but they look like the plastic things you see in Japan.
They look like candy,
Yes.
you know?
So this is made with Irwin mango. So this is the first sauce that I think he made. And so this is Irwin mango hot sauce. And you can see the color itself is just gorgeous. So this is a thicker sauce.
This is probably the most traditional of the sauces I've tasted so far.
So this is a passion fruit mustard mixed with Jamaican jerk spices. Yeah. So the passion fruit and the mustard kind of are accentuated by the coconut milk. In the spices that are actually in that coconut milk kind of help everything sort of bloom, and you kind of get this tangy, spicy, fruity Jamaican jerk spice sauce.
We are a new form of Taiwanese where we are more, I would say we're almost more American than locally Taiwanese, but we're also more Taiwanese than we're American. And so we find that balance through our sauces or through our products. And so the way that we try to stay authentic is by purchasing from local growers and try to make sure that our sauces are doing right by them and that we're able to tell their story too.